welcome to part 2 of AfterLife Connections and my special guests, Dr. Elisa Meadows and Jamie Butler. Elisa's son, Erik, took his own life in 2009 at the age of 20, sending Elisa on a personal journey to understand the afterlife. Jamie Butler, a gifted medium and founder of the Center for Love and Light in Atlanta, Georgia, periodically connects mother and son for insightful conversations about the next realm. I'm always curious about the transitioning point from here to the other realm. So I remember in one of the videos you briefly described what it was like going from your physical world into the spirit world. Could you sort of talk a little about that so that the viewers can get an idea about it as well?
He says, "Hey Miriam, can we talk about it in a sense of what elements there are and how people could experience them when they cross over?"
Yes.
Sweet. Because he said everybody's experience when they transition is going to be designed to the belief system that they create when they're on Earth.
Okay.
Right? So it's like a snowflake experience. Never is anyone going to have the same kind of a thing. Because once you cross over, let's say you just dive right into a light or a big light comes for you. Sometimes big light doesn't come for people. It's more like a dream state. You go to sleep, you kind of wake up, and there you are. So it's extremely, extremely different. But once you arrive, the kind of process that you go through is really being your true self. And that's from like the human thread up. Kind of shows this image of like a cornucopia where it kind of gets small, cone shape. Here's your humanness, and it just gets bigger and it's pronounced. So you really find out who you are, and there's nothing holding you back. Once you realize what the hell just happened, then you start to experience your life. Some people call that a life review, glimpses, but what happens here, just like you teach people on Earth, you go through the emotional filing cabinet of everything that you did or resonated within that lifetime. So you start as a baby, even right before, because you have womb memories and everything, and you go through what did you feel and what did the other people around you feel. If you threw a penny in the lake, what did each ripple feel like? What did it feel like when it hit the surface of all the sand molecules, of all the fish, of everything, and what did it feel like when it came back? And he said it's incredible because you see now that you don't have that kind of responsibility and that loyalty that humanist kind of designs to make you believe that you have. Like you are really something. You are responsible for how that other person is feeling. No, that person has a choice in how they feel. But you finally get it when you're here. And it's this incredible release. Some people do walk away at this moment with an understanding that, oh shit, I really needed to do a lot more. I dropped the ball in these cases. And so we have people here that help you process that. And what does it look like? And can you go ahead and heal it in this moment? So you are allowed, because as you know, dear Miriam, there's no linear time where I am. It kind of twists and folds on top of each other. So at this moment, if you really want to heal or make corrections, you have that ability to do so. Now, some of us just go, holy shit, way too cool, way too much at one time, like, wow. And so we kind of have these moments where we disappear, like healing zone, or we just kind of flake out. And this is where all the people on Earth, after you died, go, I don't know, he didn't come and see. I'd love to imitate him. He does his thing. He's like, I don't know what happened to him. He never came and said goodbye. I haven't had any dreams or anything. And he said, that's because we just need that little classic time out. We got to put our soul back together in the way that we really understand it in the way that we want it to feel. Beyond that healing point, he said, that's when you decide, who are you? Who are you in the collection of all the lives that you chose to live and all your incarnations? And who are you going to continue to be for those who are on Earth? He goes, I'll stop there because your head's spinning. Because you got great questions. Because I want to hear them. I want everybody to hear them.
Right. Well, the other question I have is the dream state. I've only recently realized how it connects us not only to trying to gather information about ourselves throughout the day, and figure things out, but also connects to those who have passed on as well.
He uses the image of bungee jumping, like off a bridge.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So like when you're standing on the bridge, you're awake. You're not asleep. As soon as you start to fall, you're falling into a sleep, but at different levels during the fall, you reach different dimensional planes. He said, so you could reach a subconscious dimensional plane, and that's when you're hashing out everything that went on that day and you're problem solving for yourself. And then if you fall a little deeper, he goes, then you're in this more of a cut loose, um, not yet talking to spirits or in a different dimensional plane, but it's slightly beyond, call it higher self. And then you fall a little deeper, and then you've crossed dimensional planes. Come hang out with us. We interact in your dream state. We go have a drink. We hang out. We hug. We ask about your day. If you fall a little deeper, then normally you're just gonna, can't make that sound. Bloop. We'll just do that one. Out of your body and astral project and go to other dimensional planes that are even parallel to ours where we are, but have other living multidimensional beings. He goes, that's a good enough visual?
Yeah, well, that goes to the next question I had about our multidimensional selves, because it really tells us how I don't know, how many phases of ourselves that we have that's out there. We're just not aware of it.
He loves that. He goes, pull out cigars. Let's sit around and smoke and talk about this. I don't think I've ever heard him talk about a cigar, but okay, whatever.
Feels so big when he's tried to get cigars every once in a while. He just feels so
Really?
grown up. Oh yeah, he's cool, man. But I don't think he really liked him.
I can't imagine him. He said, yeah, we're multidimensional beings, but what's happening in our human existence, that perspective is very limited for us. So we're only seeing us as being three-dimensional. And we are thinking that our five senses, that we only have five, first of all, but the five senses can only resonate in that three-dimensional plane. But honestly, those five senses go beyond three-dimensional planes. Our thought process, our intuitive sense goes beyond three-dimensional planes. So even in our human body, we go way beyond than what we're told we do, but we're good, obedient people, and we stay in line. And so what we believe creates our truth. Yes, here's Jamie says that all the time. And then as soon as you go to sleep, or as soon as you go into a deep meditation or higher vibrational awareness, by changing your perspective, or by falling into an emotional perspective, because that resonates stronger and farther and deeper than a mental perspective, thought-wise in this life, then you have access to not only your higher self, but to the other incarnations of you that you've chosen to interact with, and also interaction with what people would call God, for lack of a better term, because I want it to fit everybody's belief here, but it's that kind of prime source, that pure energy. All of that is available for us, but yet we're told it doesn't communicate to the lonely individual person, but it does. We're all connected. Because is that what you were talking about by having multi-dimensionals?
Yes. I mean, we don't realize that we're on so many different levels of consciousness. We're just aware of what we're here to do, and I feel like we're losing a lot of who we are by not being aware of that.
Each incarnation has its own human experience, I guess, for one thing. That feeds back to the whole, to our higher self. And I remember Erik used to describe. It's so difficult to imagine that there's no linear time, really, that that's just a human construct. And he says, yes, we're living all our lives, present, past, and future, at the same moment, now. And he said, imagine a stack of books, a vertical stack of books. All those are your different lives. And we are experiencing, this part of our consciousness is experiencing whatever life is in the book we're reading at the moment. But those other lives are still there going on. The stories are
existing. Yeah. And he was like, and if you get into that place where you can train yourself to go outside of this human perspective, then you have access to every single page in every single book.
And you can certainly do that with regression therapy, hypnotherapy.
Yeah, he goes, that's totally the easiest technique to use right now.
Yeah, but he always fusses at me when I say past lives, so I say other lives. You can tap into in between lives. and any other incarnation from the past or the future.
It's so much fun, Miriam, to get caught in between Erik and his mom, because Erik will say something, I don't get it out of my mouth, and Elisa will respond to what Erik has said. And for me, it's that small little validation of whoa. It's like she heard every single bit of it. And I was cutting up because he was laying in on the past life word, and then Elisa just offered up right away. But I was like, whoa, that was awesome.
Talk about spiritual connection there.
Big spiritual connection when he was alive and now that he's still alive in another place.
New life.
Be sure to stay tuned for part 3 of Afterlife Connections and get your copy of My Life After Death and Memoir from Heaven out in stores now. Please visit MQuestMedia.com where you can find articles, special events, and our monthly internet radio show Hidden Mysteries with my co-host Reverend Maria DeAndrea.